All right, welcome back to your Left-Handed Bandit Mobile Paint Party Experience Part 2 video for the 716 Kitchen logo. So in this part of the painting, we're going to be adding just some final details and some bells and whistles just to finish our painting off. As I said, this is a very simplistic painting to a very dope logo. So with the remainder of our time and for this second part of the video, we're going to be filling in the actual chef's hat on the logo, as well as adding different details to the fire, and finally the space underneath, or if you have any space above your logo, you can go ahead and customize it with either the 716 Kitchen logo, actual text, or you could put in your own creative spin, whatever you like. So I'm going to start with my average size brush. So I'm not using the foam brush anymore unless you personally decide that you want to keep on using it, then sure, because the foam brush can be used to fill this. However, it's going to take a long time. This average size brush is going to cut down on some of our time. I'm going to go ahead and use the color black to go ahead and start filling in this 716 chef hat. Now with the layers of paint underneath this black that we're putting with that red and that yellow, that's going to catch our paint and allow us to paint a lot darker and a lot smoother. So as you can see right here, my brush kind of slipped. A trick that I want to show you is if you go ahead and smooth both sides of your paintbrush out in your paint. So I'm taking my paint and I'm smoothing. I know it's a bit hard to see at this angle, but if I smooth both sides of my paint brush in my paint, that's going to sharpen up my paintbrush and allow me to make sharper, tighter, and smoother lines. So I'm just coming back and making some adjustments. Now keep in mind, if you have some Sharpies at your house, if you have any Sharpies or permanent markers, those will also do the trick for different tight parts of the hat like I'm doing right now. So those are practice runs. Now the rest is going to be a lot more smooth. So I'm filling in my chef's hat. And keep in mind, for this part, you don't have to do the chef's hat with black paint. You can choose whatever color you like. And I know that you may be thinking like, oh, you're just not telling me. But if you have already started filling in the hat with a different color, such as, white, then keep on going. But if you started with black and you'd like to switch to another color, now is the time for you to pause on that step and then just let it dry. Move to the rest of the hat for the color of your choice. And when this black dries, then you can go ahead and paint over that. But if you're cool with the black, then let's just stick with that and continue to fill in this chef logo outline on the inside of this fire for our 716 kitchen themed painting. So I'm just taking my time and filling this in. And in a second, I'll be able to move on to the next step, which is adding just, again, more bells and whistles so that our painting can be nice and vibrant and full of our own individual flair and personality. So it's these steps, excuse me, in the painting that I encourage you to add whatever type of creative elements that you like. If you have anything laying around the house, glitter, anything at all that you may have a use for, may not have had a use for up until now, then I encourage you to use those things. I encourage you to mix some of these colors that I mentioned in the beginning to get other colors. If you have any color paints around the house, I encourage you to use those. Any permanent markers, I encourage you to use those to add your own flair, like I said, and sharper, tighter lines to this painting. So I got my chef hat filled in, and the next thing I want to do is just sharpen up the outline of this fire. So I'm just going to give this fire one more layer around of black paint, and I'm using, again, my average size brush. And with this average size brush, this allows me to better adapt to those tighter edges in that ember to actually make it look like it's supposed to be. And that is supposed to look like fire, of course. So we want to make sure that our painting looks like fire. So we got that on, and feel free to take as much time as you need for that part. But for this next step, I'm going to add just a couple of things that'll hopefully give you some more ideas. But at this point in the painting, we can do whatever we like. I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush, and I'm going to go back to my yellow and red paint so I can make some more fire. So I want a couple of different embers branching off of this logo. You can add them wherever you like, wherever you see fit. I'm really freestyling. This isn't a mandatory part of the painting. This is, like I said, just to give you some ideas. I'm freestyling and showing you some different things that you could be doing with your painting. So I'm going to put some red here, here to make orange. Add a little bit of white to those. Again, you don't have to do this to your painting if you don't like. I'm just trying to give you more ideas of the many, many different things that we could do to these paintings to continue bringing them to life even more. I'm going to go ahead and add some white highlights to not just my hat, but the fire. So in a very random fashion, I'm giving certain edges, excuse me, of my chef's hat an outline, just so that it complements it here and there. Again, not a necessary step, but if you are looking to make yours look just a little bit more unique and different from everyone else's, then this is definitely what you should do. So I'm coming down here. I'm coming over here. And now, let's see. We're going to add just a couple of highlights to the fire. As you can see, my hat wasn't fully dry, so that dragged through it, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. That's just a casualty of my experimentation. I'm going to add some words to this. Now, for the sake of this being a sample, I'm going to make my words say the same text as the logo, but for yours, you don't have to do that. You can put whatever you like. This is your painting, right? So you can put your name, special dates, anything at all you'd like to put at the top or the bottom of your piece. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and write in the 716 kitchen. So I got my 7, I'm being real careful. I'm painting with my left hand from the side, so you gotta forgive me if it looks a little bit lopsided from your angle. But I'm trying my best. So I got the O in there, going for the M. Going for the E. Going for the 6. Now I got a lot of practice, so yours won't come as easy as this unless you have a fair amount of experience or a great amount of luck. And that's not me trying to be rude. That's just to say that it takes practice for you to be able to master any type of skill, let alone painting as well. So I'm going to go ahead and write kitchen at the very bottom. It may even be hard to see, so I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to not mess up my painting. Prop that up a little bit just so you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to continue writing, oh, it's a step for me. Kitchen. It's not perfect, but still looks nice. Give it a little ornamentation just so that it somewhat looks balanced. But from here, I can add maybe a couple of highlights to even these letters and words. Maybe a little bit of a white gleam here and here. And these things will make the ultimate difference in your completed painting. So the more time and detail and effort you put into your painting, the better your painting is naturally going to look. So I'm going to put some white here and here. Some white here in the 7. Here and here. And then from here, I can't think of anything else that I would like to do to my painting unless, you know, you have any, you know, other art tools around the house like glitter or anything like that. Feel free to use those. But the very, very last thing I'm going to do is simply initial my painting so I can make people understand who actually painted it. And from here, we are all set. So thank you very much for painting with me. I'm bumping everything. Thank you very much for painting with me, and feel free to follow me on all social media under the Left-Handed Bandit, on Instagram, on Facebook, website lefthandedbandit.com, and I hope to paint with you again in the future. Thank you.